Hello, hello. This may be a relatively short reading because I've been putting this off because I do not want to read on this corrupt, ugly toad. I hate this guy's energy. He's so corrupt. It's just slime. Seriously, his energy is just, it's like a brown slime. It's gross. All right. He is happy to testify in front of the Republicans in the Senate, but we're interested in, is William Barr going to testify in front of Democrats, a Democratic Judiciary Committee, because one of how that's different is that he would be questioned by a lawyer. And he wouldn't be able, like most of Trump people who have gone in, he wouldn't be able to waffle and just burn up time and with no follow-up questions. Oh, I'm getting two cards for the reading. And so he's saying, I won't go, and Nadler's saying, well, fine, then we'll subpoena you. And if he doesn't comply with that, then they'll have him arrested, and which we'll see if that could even happen. But then Barr wants to get it tied up in the courts because Trump wants to get everything tied up in the courts and slow everything down. And I don't like Trump's energy, but to some extent maybe I'm used to it a little bit because it's just disgusting, but it's, at least he I think the difference is that Trump makes an effort to some people, as long as they're white, to be charming, to get in your good graces. He wants to be loved. William Barr is just, he has his head in an anatomically impossible place. It's yuck. All right, so let's do this. Oh yeah, this is about the Mueller report. This is Nancy Pelosi as a symbol, as the figurehead for the Democrats in the House who are here to put him on the spot. All right, but it's Mueller we really want to hear from anyway, and the other witnesses, but we definitely want Barr in there. But anyway, I think it would be better to get Barr later after you've had Mueller in there, because Mueller could say his piece and then you get Barr in there and Barr tries to, oh, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that isn't what the report said. That isn't what Mueller said. That isn't what's going on. And they could really nail him to the wall on his arrogance and lies and corruption in the past. Well, we were hoping for the sword of truth. He was hoping to use the sword of his own truth, quote unquote, to put us off. Oh, the president hasn't done anything wrong. He's just an innocent babe. Yeah, right. Yeah, the Democrats want him. Come here, Barr. Yeah. This is not going to go down. You're not going to be able to, because he does. He'll just flat out lie. Or he'll talk around things. When he was questioned about, did you, how can you say now that you won't talk about the Mueller report, what you said about the Mueller report, and try to pretend now that you didn't give your opinion? Of course you gave your opinion. The president went out and said he's innocent because not based on the Mueller report, but based on what you said. And he's like, no, I didn't give my opinion. I mean, it's appalling. It is appalling. Again, Democrats. It's just Democrats going after him. Just up in his business. A friend of mine uses the expression, up in his chilies. I don't know why that's the expression, but it's cute. So. And they are strong. And this is a very solid foundation. They have precedent for having the legal counsel for the committee asking questions for half an hour. Above it, more Democrats. And he can only, this feels like a clock, and it feels like it only gets to a point where it doesn't just keep running and running. It's like, and then it just stops because he can't He can't avoid this. Well, let's see. I mean, really, it's how fast can they get in front of a judge, and get in front of a judge who says, look, this is the case law. This is precedence. You know, you've been subpoenaed or whatever. You have to go talk to them. Near future. Oh, yeah. Again, things coming to light. This is... I believe he has children who are working in the administration, in the Trump administration, and he's trying to make them look good and keep Trump happy, and also he's the kind of guy who, I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. His energy feels like, during the American Revolution, he would have sided with the British. He would have thought we still needed a king. That's what he's doing now. And that's what his energy is. Nobody should be able to question the king. Well, we don't have a king, you big jerk. But things are going to come to light. Again, I'm being drawn back to these cards. I mean, it's just very, very strong. So if you're worried about the Democrats are going to go all sort of wussy and weak on this issue, you may not need to worry here, because the energy is, just try it. They're not going to give up. We're not going to give up. You're going to testify, and you're going to answer questions from counsel. Period. Home environment. Gosh, this job is harder than he thought it would be. Because he knew it would be hard, but he had kind of glossed over some of the negative stuff he had to deal with back in the, early 90s when he worked for Bush Sr.? This job is harder than I expected. Well, you think? Again, you big jerk. Hopes and fears. He doesn't want to upset the president. He really, really, really does not want to upset the president. That's what that feels like. Does not want to do not upset the president. What other people see. We see very little. He hasn't released the unredacted report. Very few people have seen it, if any. The Democrats refuse to go look at it because it's still just hogwash. He has no right to keep this. So, I would like to hear about what's going on with the court issue. If Nadler's going to go to court and say the grand jury testimony needs to be released for public consumption. Ooh, okay, we're getting into some major arcana here. I mean, we already had some with the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun here, but Strength at the bottom. But of the 3 final outcome cards, I still say he's being bribed. He's being bribed with the positions for his children, not just the positions, but also the promise of advancement. I still think that he either explicitly or implicitly it's been hinted that he could end up, you play along, you could end up on the Supreme Court. He's being bribed. That's what that feels like, and that is the word that's coming into my head very clearly. And he thinks he's going to be able to he thinks he's going to be able to do what he did the last time he was in there, where he just doesn't talk about things and he just denies and, oh gosh, I don't know, no, that isn't what happened, and I didn't do that, and I mean, what a bunch of sniveling jerks. I'm sorry. It gets old. It gets really, really old. I mean, not one of these people understands the concept of the buck stops here. None of them take responsibility. They do awful things, and then when you call them on it, they just, they become, melted toddler. Appalling. All right, so what's going to happen? We know the Democrats are going to go after him. So what is going to happen? I try not to get frustrated. I try not to let myself get so emotional about it, but yuck. It's not going to go well for him. it's going to end up in court. That's what this feels like. It is going to end up in court. Check with other readers. By the way, I do want to make this clear. I am not perfect. I do not have all the answers. I watch other readers to see, kind of get a sense of what's going on, usually after I've read on something, to see, what is everybody saying in the aggregate. And that's, I think, gives us a better idea of what of reading the energy that's out there. Kind of like the analogy I use all the time is, it's like guessing the number of jelly beans in a giant jar at the fair. It's just a weird coincidence that it's a weird phenomenon that the more people who guess and you just average it all out, it's surprisingly close to the truth. So anyway, yeah, this feels very much like court. This feels very, very much like court. This is subpoena. This is what he's going to feel like is happening when the judge is like, no, sorry. And I have the feeling like this judge wants to be sympathetic, but it's really clear. It's like you have to go. I mean, there's no legal reasoning for him not to go. And we'll be pleased when he finally has to show up and answer for things. I still get this little feeling that in the end, eventually, after he's been such a jerk for so long, that eventually he's going to do the right thing, but it's so far down the road, it's so far down the line, that his name in history is mud. Absolute mud. Like his energy, which is mud. His energy's awful. All right, so once he's in, once they finally get him in there, is he going to successfully just waffle in garbage, or are they going to be able to hold his feet to the fire? Let's see here. Little firing of feet. Trump. Him going to bat for Trump. Trump's corruption. By that point, they're going to know more about what's in the report, and they're going to line things up, and they're going to call him on Trump because that's how Trump views himself. Tall, strong. He's a Gemini, so it's an air sign, which is swords, with the really, really glorious, obnoxious hair. This is Barr going to the rescue to protect the king. This is Trump's corruption, and this is Barr trying to refute the reality, facts, what's actually in the report. He if it reaches a point where he can't, I mean, he'll try. He's going, I didn't, maybe even like ludicrous stuff like, I didn't read that. And there are going to be so many other people testifying. So many other people testifying. And it is not going to go well for Trump. The Republicans are going to do their level best to muddy the waters. They always do. But this is a lot of people being forced to go in, even though Trump has been saying everybody should resist going, ignore them, ignore their subpoenas, ignore their, who does Trump care? He doesn't get hurt. But there a lot of, if this feels like a line of witnesses, like going out the door and down the hallway, waiting their turn. And judgment, us being able to actually see. This is the opposite of what we see now. All right, well, it looks good, but what the energy feels like is he is going to end up in court, and he's going to continue to be an ugly toad about this, and do everything he can to protect King Donald the obnoxious, the traitor, King Donald the traitor. Yeah, that works. Okay, so this is him. This is the card of him. Insult to injury. He does things like, I'm not going to let you see the report, even though there's precedence for him to do that. No, I'm not going to go to court to get the grand jury testimony released, and I'm going to sit here in a committee and waffle and lie. And yeah, this is him. This is him. And seriously, think about this. Of all the cards in the tarot deck, if one card was supposed to represent you, why would you choose this one? Why? Anyway, that's my opinion. Okay, hang in there. We will get through it. The Democratic energy is all over this, and not, we can be kind of wussy sometimes. I understand that because I am a Democrat, but this is much stronger. This is and judgment is coming. Lots and lots of things to judge. I mean, serious, like bulk popcorn TV watching. All right, so don't let anybody get you down, because there are so many good people in this country, and Trump's base is not as strong as you think it is. It's not as big as they think it is. It just isn't. All right, hang in there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to my patrons. I'm so grateful. All right, hang in there.